Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to watch chapter 8 of my book, Technologies Are the Arts. This is the last chapter, and it talks about conclusions and recommendations. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in chapter 8. And this chapter 8 of the book, Technologies Are the Arts, deals with conclusions and recommendations. After learning what has been written concerning technological development, now we want to conclude. And this conclusion and recommendation will enable African intellectuals to be able to move in the right direction towards technological development. So there are many recommendations on what should be done, and I'll discuss each one by one. But if you want to understand it thoroughly, you need to read my book. The first recommendation is that we need to improve the educational system. Our education system should be result-oriented. It should be competence-based. Our friends in Europe, in Australia, and somewhere else are now offering competence-based education. And in this competence-based educations, you need to have what we call industrial advisory board. You need to have people from the industry who have, they have extensive, experience on hand-on application of technology. Not people who are just administrators. No, people who have a hand-on experience on what are being done, so that people graduating from the universities should be able to do things rather than to show how they have passed, showing just their GPAs and whatever. But if you give them an assignment they cannot do, we need to embrace competence-based education. And then we need to have improvement mindset. We should not do what we call business as usual. No, you need to be able to improve. Whether you are doing a business, maybe you have got an industry, you should be able to improve, to learn. We need to have continuous learning. The problem with many Africans, they don't even take time to read. They just read when they are given assignment by their professors. But go to our transportation system and find people, you will find that they don't have any book in Africa. That is a big problem. We need to improve our knowledge, and we should not just say, I'm very much educated. I have a bachelor, I have a PhD, I have a master's. But reading and learning should be a continuous process. During the Industrial Revolution, those European people were ready to learn, and people were moving. People from Sweden, they started moving to France in order to learn how things are being done. People from France going to Germany to learn on the actual practice of knowledge. We need not only to end on knowledge, but we need to go beyond to application of the knowledge and getting results. And then we need to be able to improve our business. If you go to Tanzania, you'll find that everywhere in Tanzania you'll find people putting frames. Everywhere there are frames. People are just thinking on frames, but people are not ready to develop what they know and make their knowledge into a business. That is a big problem. You may say, I'm very much educated. I have a PhD. I have traveled extensively to other countries, but you cannot translate your knowledge into a business. People should be able to translate what they know into a business. You will find somebody who's a professor is doing something like somebody in standard 7 who has never even gone to school. Sometimes we find the one who has gone to standard 7, grade 7, whatever, is able to do better than you who is very much educated, and that should not be the case. And people should be able to translate their knowledge. Why should a professor or an engineer in electronics, and then he's going to open a bar? He's doing business which is not even related to what he has or she has studied. And then we need to improve the policies. I mean, the policies should be friendly to investors in technological development. And then we need to have clear objectives. The objectives for the country should be written clearly, and should not only be written, but should be read by the intellectuals to know where we are going, to what direction are we going, where are we. So we need to have clear objectives. And then we need to have improvement on incentives to people who are investing in industries and in technologies. And then we need to have our priorities right. And then, of course, this is talked a lot by our intellectuals, improvement in research and development. But I say, if you can improve research and development, but you cannot translate the research and development into a reality and into a business, then it will be a waste of time. So we should encourage our intellectuals who are doing researches that they should bring their researches into market so that they may translate it into businesses and solving actual problem. And then there is governance and management factors that cannot be overemphasized. We need to have proper governance in the African countries for the presidents, the prime ministers, and the leaders. Should have proper governance of their nations in order for Africa to develop technologically. Then we need capacity building. We need to be able to build capacity, because now our education system was not so good. But we need now, for example, us who have got much experience and we know that our young guys are just graduating and they are coming, we should build their capacities that you have been taught at university this and that, but in the industry you are required to know to be able to do this and that. And then we have got the development of African youth. We should develop the mindset of your youth, and that should start in family basis, on the family. Myself, I develop my kids, my children, on technological development and what they should aspire to do. Of course, that sensitization can be also done in our secondary schools, in our universities, so that people should know why they are at colleges, what are they studying, and what they should expect, and what is expected of them. Then there is issue of ideologies. We need to have proper ideologies for technological development. If you want to understand more about this, please read my book, Technologies Are the Arts. Then we need to introduce total quality management in whatever you are doing. If you have your business, please read here what I'm talking about, technological development and how it made Japan to rise high technologically because of application of that theory. You need to have, if you want to improve, your industry, you need to have a management which is, which is ready to ensure that, total quality management is enforced in their organization, including having right financial resources, right personnel, human resources, right payment, and that everyone who is doing a certain stage of construction should know that the one who is going to receive it and improve it is my customer. The issue of internal customer, it has been written in this book, and you can read it, and that is very useful because it helped Japan and is gonna help even Africa. And then we need to invest in technological development and innovations. That is very important. Then we have got number 14. Africa needs to have technological brokers. Africa, we are doing other business like selling products from other people, but you can find that many countries in Africa, we don't have technological brokers. An example of technological broker was Thomas Edison. You know, Thomas Edison, he's a scientist, but he was a technological broker. He was trying to develop technologies and selling them to other people. And he was doing brainstorming. I've talked a lot about brainstorming in my book. So you need to know the principles of brainstorming. You know, in Africa, we are not doing brainstorming. We are just brainstorming in political arena so that we may win elections, but we are not brainstorming in order to develop a technology. We have got now WhatsApp, we have got Facebook, we have a lot of tools which can be used to brainstorm. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me. I've completed this chapter 8 of the book, Technologies Are the Arts, and I would like to urge you, please don't miss this book, Technologies Are the Arts, and it will change your mindset to become a result-oriented person. That you should not end only in science, but you should go to the art, to the way of doing things. As I say that, they say that this one have got a state-of-art technology. Why state of art? Because in order to develop any technology, you need to have the art, not only the science. Thank you very much for listening to me.